Welcome to Charts Today. My name is David Linton, and today's edition for Tuesday, the 11th of September, comes to you from London. Dollar turning down this morning, so we're just seeing that weakening on the short-term chart. Still support here on the point and figure chart, of course. Still bullish medium term, but just pulling it back on the short term, which is leading to euro strength short term. Not quite through the cloud yet on the short-term chart, but looking a bit better. But the dollar against the yen is still looking pretty strong, bullish above the cloud there. Sterling had a big move yesterday on the rumour of the European Union agreeing a deal on Brexit, and we're seeing that rising against the dollar, against the euro, and against the Swiss franc. But still, medium term, lots of work to do on all of those charts. Against the Aussie dollar, sterling actually looking much stronger, so that's Aussie dollar weakness combined with sterling strength. Bitcoin pushing lower, still below the cloud on the short-term chart, so still looking bearish all around there. The US market recovered a little bit yesterday. S&P was up 0.4%. The Nasdaq was up about 0.25% to up 0.2%. Still bearish short-term on that Nasdaq chart, so that is still a slight concern. And we're seeing here on the Dow also just turning bearish on that short-term chart. And the same with the Russell 2000. So US indices just looking a little bit more bearish in the short term, and we're seeing that play through on the futures. The S&P future up slightly this morning, and the Nasdaq E-mini up just under 0.25%. The FTSE has struggled as well, just bearish below the cloud there. And if we look at the mid 250, also bearish below the cloud. So European stocks generally looking pretty bad. The DAX looking more bearish, and the CAC 40 also still bearish below the cloud. Japan overnight actually was up 0.75%, but still bearish on the charts, medium and short term. And the Hang Seng was down 0.5%, sinking lower. China affected by U.S. trade sentiment, and the Shanghai market also lower, so still a worry there. Sensex was down also about 0.25%, and the Aussie market on the weaker dollar up just about 2/3%. Brent crude pushing higher, back into bullish territory, 77.79. Going to have another go for this $80 mark by the looks of things. We're seeing targets here to 81.79, and this 84.85 target's still here. This will produce another new upside target as well. So crude still looking pretty strong, and WTI also not quite through the cloud yet, but will inevitably follow if Brent continues rising. US natgas just starting to look a little bit more bullish, moving back above the cloud on the short-term chart. Gold actually pushing into the high 1190s on that weaker dollar, but still bearish on the charts, and silver just ticking above on the short-term chart, so maybe looking a little bit better on that weaker dollar. US 10-year yields pushing higher, sitting at 2.95%, and of course European bonds we talked about yesterday sinking lower. This is the German Bund, inverted of course in the yield, so we are just seeing this bear market in bonds really developing here. Taking a look at the tech stocks, the tech majors, we saw that Apple was down 1.4%, so looking weaker below the cloud there on the short-term chart. Amazon also just holding at 0.4% up, but below the cloud on the short term. Google has really lagged the tech majors, and it actually was up last night, but still pretty bearish on that short-term chart. Facebook sitting at 163, very bearish below that 170 mark, and bearish below the cloud with downside targets into the 140s area. And if you look at Microsoft, just struggling to hold on to its bullish trend as well in the short term, and Netflix also just down 1/3%, and pretty clearly now in medium-term bearish territory. Tesla rebounded 5% yesterday, but still bearish in the medium, long, and short-term charts. So that doesn't change the picture. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.